Hi everyone and welcome to this special Saturday night edition of The Crows Show. I'm Mark Bickley.
And I'm Alana Smith. It's the AFL's Indigenous round and the players will tell us why this celebration is so important to them.
Also in tonight's show, we'll explore how the Crows plan to go north in search of future players.
And we'll eavesdrop on Don Pyke at training.
Talk to the guys in front, talk to them. Look. Got too flat, boys, got too flat.
But first, the Mallee Park Club in Port Lincoln has a remarkable record for producing champion Indigenous players. Eddie Betts is just one in a long line of stars who have paraded their extraordinary skills on the AFL stage. Eddie takes us back to where it all started and helps us understand why this tiny club has been so successful. A return to his football home reminds Eddie Betts of Mallee Park's proud Indigenous history, and a familiar face was there to welcome him back.
Stick here, look.
Oh, here's trouble.
No, I don't think we're just coming here to take some photos here. Yeah, not bad.
Few, if any, of Australia's grassroots clubs could claim to have produced as many AFL players as Mallee Park.
I'll tell you, everyone that's been through here, through the AFL, up there.
Not so long ago, 9 of Mallee Park's best were playing at the same time in 6 AFL teams.
It runs in a family a lot of it, and there's such great names in Port Lincoln, especially at Mallee Park Football Club. And you know, you're talking about the Piggotts, the Burgoynes, you know, the Welleses, Thomases, Bettses, Millers. We can just keep going.
And those familiar names dominate the premierships.
And this one is my mum's brother, my dad's brother, my mum's sister's husband. My dad's just here, 85. He could have actually got drafted, but my grandmother was sick, so he stayed here.
It's about, you know, taking the next step. You know, there's a lot of talented football players at Mallee Park, but if they take that next step, you know, they can play AFL footy.
Coached by Graham Johncock, Mallee Park won last year's Port Lincoln Premiership by 7 goals. Its 15th flag in 35 years. Eddie says apart from having the skills, there's no great secret to his club's success.
When you play, you just play to have fun, and you enjoy footy, and you enjoy being around, you know, all your brothers, and you just have fun.
Eddie has one piece of advice for youngsters wanting to follow in his footsteps.
And when I got drafted, I couldn't read or write, and I didn't know what I was signing, and it was tough for me. My first 3 years I had to do literacy and numeracy classes, so my message to young kids, not just at Mallee Park but all around Australia, to do your schooling first, make sure you graduate, and after that you can do whatever you put your mind to.
It's great to see that 3 years after retiring from the Crows, Graham Johncock is still playing for Mallee Park and kicking plenty of goals. What a player he was. An announcement is expected soon on the composition of the National Women's Competition, which will debut next year. The Crows' bid is supported by a partnership it has forged with AFLNT to tap into the Northern Territory's pool of talented players. So how will the partnership work?
Oh, a little don't argue by Johnston to get free, and then she loads up towards goal.
We looked at an alignment with the Crows and looked at their depth of talent, and very clearly thought the strongest pitch for both South Australia and the NT was to combine our bid. Now you end up with flushed with talent, great facilities, a duplication on the revenue.
And then follow through with your run, okay?
One of the uniqueness about being in the Territory, and probably one of our upsides with our bid, is that we play football, especially women's football, out of a traditional season. So ours will start in October, everyone else is finished, and then we will go over the Christmas break and into February, March. The National Women's League is scheduled at this stage to actually operate in February and March.
The National Women's League, I think it's fantastic. It's about time, I say. Women's footy up here has grown tremendously, so we're a long way from what we were at the start. There's so much talent, especially in remote communities as well. I'm sure there's something hidden out there as well. So I just think the opportunities are endless. These girls just got to take it.
Good kick forward. Which way will it bounce? Well, it's working for the NT.
We have had academy programs in place for some years. We've probably established maybe 4 or 5 in our women's and probably another 5 or 6 in our youth academy that are coming through and certainly will be ready come 2017 to play in the National Women's League. So, we're pretty proud of that. I think the opportunity now to play at a national level is so real for them. We've got a uniqueness to our team that will not exist out of any other team that enters the league, and that means that we can represent the whole of Central Australian corridor.
Coming up after the break, Alana reminds us about the day Tom Lynch experienced what every key forward dreams about, and the former Adelaide boy who's leading the AFL's newest club.
It's just a great acknowledgement of the Indigenous culture and the impact that Indigenous players have on the AFL game, and it's just a great game to represent my people and my culture.
Welcome back. 5 years ago, Phil Davis shocked and disappointed Crows fans and officials by signing with Greater Western Sydney, the first established player to do so. The former North Adelaide junior is the co-captain of the Giants as they make a bold bid for finals action.
This is a big win, and Mummy throws it, so does Cameron. So they move up to third on the premiership ladder.
I think we're definitely maturing. I think we're going to continue to mature over the next few years, which is really exciting for our supporters and us as a group. But I've got a really great bunch of guys, especially around that 22, 23 years old, that are really terrific at, setting the example around the footy club, which makes my job far, far easier. I think to captain the AFL club was an enormous honour for myself, and something that I think when I retire in particular, I'll look back on with a great amount of pride. I've really enjoyed the challenge so far. It's been a position I've had to grow into a lot, and I've had a lot of help from players like Luke Power and James McDonald along the way.
I'd like to thank the Adelaide Football Club, my teammates, and especially the Adelaide supporters for the last 3 years. I'm excited to have been given the opportunity to help establish a new franchise, and I look forward to all the challenges that come with that.
Yeah, obviously it was a bit of a challenge. I had a lot of family and friends in Adelaide at the time when I left, and I still do, but every time I get back I make sure I catch up with a fair few of the guys that I played with. Still got some really great mates there that I enjoy seeing.
She's such a good mark in front. They'd be 4 goals down without Phil Davis there today.
We're really excited. We've never won at Adelaide Oval before. Adelaide have been able to play some really good football. They've won 5 or 6 games already this year, so they're in the top 8, and so it's going to be a really hard fought match, and one that we're going to have to be at our absolute best if we're going to compete in.
It was against the Giants 3 years ago that Tom Lynch achieved the extremely rare feat of kicking 10 goals in a game. The performance stamped him as a key player in the Crows' premiership ambitions. Let's turn the clock back to that round 7 clash when Lynch was playing just his 10th game for his new club.
Strikes it beautifully, and again puts GWS on the ropes.
Yeah, it was my second year, and I was obviously looking to break into the team, and unfortunately Tex had gone down a couple of weeks prior, so I was just pleased to get my turn, but it was obviously an interesting one. I hadn't played much footy up until that stage, and I cop a bit of flack for probably being the worst player ever to kick 10, so it was a lot of luck went into it, and I'm not going to sit here and say I played that good of a game or anything like that. The boys were fantastic, and I was just lucky enough to find some ball inside 50.
I can tell you what, there's a lot in Tom Lynch's game this afternoon. He's got 4.
My favourite probably was when Pat took a huge pack mark and big screamer on Paddy Dangerfield that was, and I was standing in the goal square, so he had to give the handball, and it was funny in the end. He ended up taking the 3 Brownlow votes home, so that probably proves that it was a real team performance. Half the boys didn't even know I was out there for a stage of the game. I think when I kicked my 8th, Truck was on the bench, and he couldn't even believe it himself. He didn't think I had 8 kicks, so it was obviously weird, but when the game was over, it started to become a bit more surreal.
Tom Lynch, this is your life.
When I was actually on, I think, at 9 goals, Richie Douglas came up to me at 3/4 time because I shot him the siren, and and told me not to choke. So I certainly did that. And then in the last quarter, I certainly had the goal goggles on and wasn't looking for too many Crows jumpers.
Lynch free. Okay, will he load up for 10? A sidestep, a dance, runs inside 50. This is it for number 10. Only in your wildest dreams, Tom Lynch.
It was funny how it played out. Obviously, it was fun. You can talk about it now, but yeah, it was certainly due to my teammates' performance.
The Crows finished up winning that day by a whopping 22 goals, and Don Pyke would like nothing more than a similar margin tonight. The coach demands much from his players, but not in a loud, combative manner. Players appreciate his calm, measured coaching style, and this is certainly evident at most training sessions.
Morning, Taylor. Morning, mate. Good. Have a good session. Good luck out here. Are we down here with those boys? I think I'm the guy down this end. Am I full forward? I'll lurk out the back. Is that what you want? Am I the deep forward here? You're off me, Bull. Good luck, mate. I'm dangerous out the back here, but... Which one of your backs wants me? Don't all put your hand up. Talk to the guys in front. Talk to them. Look, look, look. Got too flat, boys. Got too flat. Get up, get up, get up, get up, get up! Can we use the orange ones, mate? Because the green ones don't really work with these strangely coloured jumpers that we're wearing. Get there, Sauce! Come on, Brownie, come on, Brownie! Follow up, reorganise, good! Come on, Greggy, Greggy, use your numbers, use your hands! Get to a position, Tex, get to a position of your handball, good! It's a throw! Good option, JL! Yeah, good option, Crouchy, nice. Jog, get to the middle, let's go! What do you think, Slaney? It built. Look, yeah, I think it was more the guys just not giving the kicks any flight. They're either trying to kick them too hard, or they're trying to be too safe. Or...
I mentioned that about halfway through.
Did it improve? Yeah, definitely. Okay, we'll tell them. Just tell them. Because it's going to happen, mate. This happens in a game. That's what happens.
Still to come on the Crow Show, it's Brad Crouch's turn for a grilling from Brodie Smith. And nothing infuriates fans more than the new out-of-bounds rule. We'll hear how the AFL defends the change.
Obviously, we're representing our people and our mob where we come from, which is very special, and then also acknowledging the past players that played before us, so also acknowledging them throughout the week.
Each week on The Crows Show, we give Brodie Smith the job of helping us learn a little more about one of his teammates. This time, thanks to Aussie Ripper Roasts, the boy from Ballarat, Brad Crouch, is in the hot seat.
Brad Crouch, thanks for joining us on the Ripper Roast.
Thanks, mate.
Into your fourth year of footy now. Obviously had a bit of a frustrating patch with injury over the last year. Firstly, how's the body and how good is it to be back out in the park?
Yeah, it's good to be back, mate. I guess it's been a frustrating couple of years for me, and it's definitely good to be back playing, but it's also tough getting back into it. I think I'm struggling a little bit at the moment, and hopefully I can string a few games together and get some form soon.
We finally got to see the two Crouch boys together. What's it like playing with your brother?
At the moment, it's been a little bit tough. We haven't played a lot in the middle together. I think, yeah, the more and more we play together, the more and more we'll get along and gel, hopefully.
And off-field, how's the mini golf going?
Yeah, not too bad. I played a round of mini golf yesterday with my girlfriend.
Yeah, enjoying that?
Yeah, it was good. I won by about 20 shots, so that was nice.
And also, what else off-field do you like to get up to with your time away or day off? Bit of golf?
Yeah, this year I've been trying to play a little bit of golf and trying to find avenues away from footy, so I still play off about 45, but I can work on that, and there's plenty of improvement.
No, I'm with you there. Actually, my old man caught you out on the golf course one day down at West Lakes, and he said you were bad, but Jake Kelly was one of the worst he's ever seen. What happened there?
Yeah, it's the first time I've ever seen someone hit a 23 for a hole. So and he gave up after 4 holes as well. So yeah, it wasn't Jake's greatest day.
All right, thanks Brad for joining us this week.
No worries, thanks mate.
The new interpretation of the deliberate out-of-bounds rule is perhaps the AFL's most hotly debated issue. In Under the Coach's Roof, brought to you by Revolution Roofing, we analyse the modern game from a coach's perspective. So how does the AFL defend the rule change to not only coaches, but to fans and players alike?
Centre Hartigan stands his ground and kicks it out towards the wing. This will bounce close to the line. This will be an interesting call.
Deliberately out of bounds. Look, the new deliberate out-of-bounds interpretation, I don't think it's had a massive effect on the game. It's probably a little bit tougher for the guys in the back half of the field, the defenders, but I think probably the speed of the game's probably increased as much from the exclusion zone.
I've really liked it. I think the issue for us is still to make sure we get consistency with it, but 25% less boundary throw-ins is a really good statistic, and we can see it's actually quite exciting watching players trying to keep the ball alive rather than rushing it at a play deliberately.
What about that? Through the legs.
Really interested to see how the SANFL trial goes this year. I know their boundary throw-ins are 40% down. Now that's exciting.
And it's going to head out towards the line. So Glenelg, free kick, disposal without it being touched, going across the line here.
One's an interpretation, one's a dead fast rule which takes out any umpire discretion. So it's probably easily adjudicated at SANFL level, but for the players, I haven't seen any of them having issues with it. At times, we'd probably prefer them to get a deliberate out of bounds than to keep the ball in and give the opposition an easy shot. So if it goes out of bounds, we get called for delivery, gives us time to set up our defence. So we're not too worried about it if the players get the call wrong or right. It's what reactions afterwards is probably more important.
Stay with us and see if you are our Crows facing the crowd this week. And the skipper takes us to his favourite holiday destination.
It's a fantastic round. It's a learning curve for the Indigenous culture. If you look at the jerseys, you know, every jersey says a different story, and you learn about the story as well and the artist. So, no, it's a fantastic round, and I'm looking forward to it.
Like all AFL leaders, Taylor Walker faces intense scrutiny every week. So where does he go when he needs to escape from the football bubble? Thanks to our friends at Flight Centre, the skipper takes us on his favourite holiday.
My favourite holiday destination in Australia is Byron Bay. I think it's very relaxed, laid back place, so it's always good to go there and chill out. And overseas, I've got two, Hawaii and New York. Two different ones. New York's pretty busy, very amazing city, lots to do, lots to look at, and Hawaii's a little bit more like Byron Bay, a little bit more laid back. I haven't been to Europe, so through Europe, London, Paris, and sneak through Amsterdam, somewhere like that would be great.
That looks great. Who wouldn't like to go there? Now, let's pick our Crows face in the crowd. If this is you, contact the club via email before 5 p.m. next Wednesday. Be ready with some photo ID and you'll receive a merchandise pack courtesy of Chemist Warehouse. Remember, there are still some big home matches to go, so don't forget the Crows 3-game membership packages for your opportunity to experience the exciting atmosphere at Adelaide Oval. For all the details, go to 19thman.com.au.
Coming up in next week's show, live wire forward Charlie Cameron gets roasted by Smills.
And we delve into the archives and recall the club's only draw against the Saints in 1994. It came after a stirring last quarter comeback.
And before next Sunday afternoon's game against the Saints at Adelaide Oval, we'll bring you an extended 1-hour Crows show.
Don't forget, that's at 3:30 next Sunday, an hour-long show brought to you by Chemist Warehouse.
That wraps up our special Saturday night edition of the Crows show, celebrating the game's Indigenous players.
Bye for now.
Goodbye.